cyclops, and giants, and puppies? Oh my. Today we're breaking down how story works inside a trailer. Not just any trailer, but the trailer for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Now, we're not going to get into all the Homer's version versus Nolan's version and all the adaptations ever made. And we're definitely not tempting the gods by taking a stance on the law of Zeus. We're staying focused on how this one trailer uses visual elements that you can apply to your work to tell its story. But what in the heck, Aaron? What does this have to do with After Effects? Well, let me tell you. Let's get into it. For the most part, when it comes to live action footage, motion graphics is used to enhance the core messaging or the story, making it clear to the viewer what they're supposed to feel and understand. Now, sometimes the messaging is unclear or confusing, and that's intentional because later down the road, there's a sequence that will be the real reveal. But when the messaging is unclear and it's unintentional, then the storytelling has not been structured properly. In today's breakdown, and I don't mean an actual breakdown, although I almost had one putting this video together, I'm going to talk about just a few elements that can be applied to your projects to help elevate your projects to epic standards. Whether you're working with live action footage that you're enhancing with created assets or you're doing full-on animations, I help you solve issues that you're having with simple workflows that are at your fingertips within After Effects. You can watch the full trailer from the link in the description, but I'm going to jump around and highlight the parts that really show you what's working and how they make you feel exactly what they want you to feel. Watched straight through, even if you remember nothing about Homer, Odysseus, Penelope, or the Trojan horse, you get the core idea. A soldier or leader of real importance has been separated from his wife and son, and he's on an epic, perilous journey to get back home to them.
Help me go home.
The trailer does its basic job. It gives you a clear sense of the central situation and stakes in a very concise summary. But the interesting question is, how does that make us feel? Well, storytelling is really about helping us to relate and to project. And trailers are really overall just short films, and they need to get us to engage very quickly. They need us to suddenly care about someone we may never have even heard about up until 2 seconds ago. Well, how do they do that? Audio is very important, and sound effects, dialogue, music do aid in helping get us to that emotional level in films. It's the visual framing and distance and lighting that gives us the visual metaphors and cues for us to engage. So here's the breakdown in this trailer of a few of those elements. The intro is all about home and absence. We see the wife, the son, the household without its master, and the devastation of war and tragedy that has separated the man from his family. The objective of this first part is to create that absence and longing. So shots of Penelope and Telemachus composed alone with a lot of negative space around them, those empty areas visually represent what's missing: Odysseus and stability. Our eyes read the character as small and abandoned inside a world that feels too big. Then we move into corruption and threat. The evidence that he's been gone too long. The household has been overtaken. The suitors crowd the frame, lounging and feasting, often from lower angles or with bodies dominating the foreground. The crowded composition signals that they own the space now, so it feels like they're being overshadowed and pressed out of their own home. If watching this breakdown broke something open for you, congratulations. You're officially ready to start your own Odyssey. Let's work on your visual storytelling together. If you don't want to wander around for years like Odysseus to get better results, click the link below this video and book a call with me today. I'll get you home.
Let's go!
We'll shortcut the sea monsters and go straight to visuals that actually move your career forward. On the call, we'll look at where your work is now and where you want to be and equip you with the skills and tools to get you there. The emotional crux centers around vengeance and control. The objective is to show expressions of rage and the need to control fate. We get more dynamic camera moves and tighter, more intense close-ups, which feel like a visual decision point. They pull us into his psychology and signal that control is about to be asserted. Chaotic motion puts the audience in the storm of rage. Sudden stillness afterwards makes the result feel heavy and irreversible, deepening the emotional impact. Then, of course, no story is complete without a puppy. By designing the use of movement, we don't call it motion graphics for nothing. Through lighting and composition elements, it turns a centuries-old mythical tale into a modern, relatable psychological story about home, guilt, and violent restoration. If you feel that your projects and work is lacking in these visual storytelling elements, let me help you create these exact feelings and relatable connections with your audience. Click the link below and book a call with me today. Thanks for watching.